Kassia St. Clair, The Golden Thread, How Fabric Changed History. Embark on a fascinating journey into the world of textiles and their impact on human history with this summary of The Golden Thread, How Fabric Changed History by Kassia St. Clair. Gain insights into the multifaceted significance of fabrics, from the spiritual importance of Egyptian linen to the economic power of Chinese silk. Marvel at the innovation of woolen sails that enabled the Vikings to dominate the seas, and explore how technical advancements in synthetic fabrics and clothing have pushed the limits of athletic performance. This summary offers engaging, digestible content that highlights the crucial roles fabrics have played across diverse cultures and time periods.
The sacred significance of linen in ancient Egypt. Linen played a significant role in the economy, religion, and spirituality of ancient Egypt. It was used to make bandages, wrappings, and clothing, and as a symbol of wealth. Linen was also the key element in the world-renowned mummification process, giving mummies their sacred significance, thereby elevating the status of fabric beyond practical use. Priests who did the mummification ritual were even respectfully called masters of secrets. Linen, with its spiritual and cultural significance, was more than just a commodity or diplomatic tool, it was the fabric of a civilization that has continued to captivate historians and audiences alike. The power of silk in ancient China. Silk was a symbol of power in ancient China. The economic importance of silk was immense, with an enormous industry revolving around its production. Silk was even used as a currency, and palaces were equipped with facilities for its manufacture. Additionally, silk became a weapon in the diplomatic strategy of the Chinese, as they gradually made other tribes dependent on them. Chinese silk production was historically associated with women, and there were many legends surrounding its discovery. Finally, the story of Sui Hui and her star gauge highlights the versatility of silk's use. The Vikings' secret to sailing the seas. The Vikings were not only skilled boat builders and raiders but also successful traders enabled by their innovative use of sails made from wool. Their extraordinary manufacturing process created effective sails that revolutionized sailing. Although wool is not a conventional material for sails, the lanolin content in Old Norse sheep's wool made it better at repelling water. Vikings spent 2.5 years to produce each sail, but it allowed them to settle new areas, including Iceland and Greenland, and to travel to America 500 years earlier than Columbus. The tragic consequences of ignoring cold weather risks. In 1912, Robert Scott set out to reach the South Pole with his team, but was beaten by a Norwegian team, and sadly, he and his team did not make it back from their journey. Despite Scott's efforts to adapt to the cold, none of them were enough to withstand the extreme weather. The human body simply does not handle cold well, and even a small drop in internal body temperature can have severe consequences such as impaired decision-making, frostbite, and hypothermia, which may lead to death. While the British and Norwegian teams both wore advanced Burberry gabardine suits made from cotton treated to be wind-resistant and waterproof, the Norwegians added parkas and trousers made from reindeer or seal skin for extra insulation, while the British team relied on their own labor, risking generating perspiration and rapid breathing, both of which could rapidly turn to ice. A solution to this would have been available, as duck and geese down were known to be excellent insulators, but Scott rejected it in favor of more familiar, less effective fabrics. The rise and fall of rayon. In the late 19th century, scientists developed artificial silk called rayon using wood pulp and carbon disulfide. Rayon was cheap and commercially successful, and production increased by 80% in America from 1931 to 1936. Its popularity led to the rise of synthetic materials, with DuPont's nylon replacing silk stockings in 1940. However, synthetic production had several drawbacks, including hazardous working conditions for laborers exposed to CS2 and forced labor during wartime. Synthetic production also harms the environment, with polyester producing small bits of plastic and rayon requiring deforestation. Despite these issues, synthetics make up 60% of the fabric market, mostly for fast fashion. The unconventional history of Apollo spacesuits. The Apollo 11 spacesuits that protected the first humans on the moon were created by a team of female seamstresses from Playtex, a women's underwear company, whose expertise in molding latex made the perfect fit for the suits. The complicated production process, including a mesh material used in Playtex bras, generated reams of technical documents to satisfy NASA's high-tech engineering standards. On July 21, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first person to set foot on the moon, watched by 15% of the world's population. But little is known about the iconic suits that protected Armstrong and resembled something out of a science fiction movie. The high-altitude requirements of space exploration called for suits that could withstand more extreme conditions than previous flight suits. NASA initially contracted with several companies that specialized in aviation equipment, but none could meet the rigorous criteria. Playtex, an unlikely choice, and best known for its bras and girdles, would eventually get NASA's approval to design and manufacture the Apollo 11 suits. NASA's reluctance to contract Playtex was largely due to a clash of organizational cultures. NASA had a very scientific and technical approach, while Playtex was organized around the craft and knowledge of experienced seamstresses. However, Playtex's innovation in molding latex for bras and girdles turned out to be the perfect fit for crafting spacesuits. A team of female seamstresses, pattern cutters, and makers at Playtex worked hard to manually cut and sew each suit, a process that bore some similarity to making girdles. The suits were composed of 4,000 different fabric pieces and 21 layers of material, including a mesh that helped retain the pressurized rubber. The suits were marvels, weighing 56 pounds and costing between $100,000 to $250,000. ILC's expertise and knowledge were in the suits themselves, and not necessarily in the paperwork. However, NASA desired to present the suits as products of high-tech engineering, complete with verifying documents and technical specifications, prompting ILC to hire a team of engineers to bridge the communication gap. The unusual history of Playtex and their crucial role in space exploration underscores the importance of innovation and adaptation in meeting the most exceptional technical challenges. The tech suit era. The introduction of Speedo's full-body LZR racer swimsuit before the 2008 Beijing Olympics sparked controversy in the swimming world. The suit, made of smooth water-repellent synthetics, was designed to reduce drag and led to the breaking of 22 world records in just 2 months. The controversy heightened with the next generation of suits made entirely of polyurethane, which compressed swimmers' bodies even more effectively, creating unequal access and benefits. Swimmers with more soft and pliable tissue gained the most from the compression, causing high-level but not necessarily remarkable swimmers to suddenly outperform. FINA banned the suits, but the records set during the tech suit era remained. Other advancements continued, including Speedo's all-lycra suits with even more compression. Ultimately, the controversy raised questions about fairness in sports and the limits of the body's capabilities.
Through this summary of The Golden Thread, we have traversed the annals of history, understanding the versatility and power of fabrics. Whether it be the spiritual significance of Egyptian linen or the economic prowess of Chinese silk, fabrics have shaped civilizations throughout the ages. We have discovered how the invention of woolen sails propelled the Vikings to rule the seas and how innovation in fabric technology has challenged the boundaries of human endeavor, both in sports and space exploration. As we conclude our journey, it becomes apparent that fabrics not only have a profound influence on the course of history, but their roles continue to evolve and impact our lives today.